It's probably not very loud in the microphone. Ugh. Summer holiday has come to an end for me. Talk a little bit about the summer and what I want to do in the future. So, yeah, I have kind of loosely defined myself, not in nominative terms, because I still reject the idea of a nominative world where we define everybody and everything in terms of, okay, this is what you are, this is what you aren't, right? So you have a purgative, and then you have an identity property to every individual. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. I wish identity politics were spoken as math terminology. Maths are extremely important, and yeah. So yeah. I'll just explain it like that, I guess. So yeah, I know what I want to, hold myself to as a standard, and I know the kind of person I more so know after this summer holiday that I know the person I really don't want to be for sure, but like also I know the person I do want to be, kinda, right? So sciences, maths, language, music, stuff, the people consider these like academic topics. They are of increasing interest to me, and I love them very dearly. So yeah, that's kind of like those are my major pillars of focus, right? These are obelisks of my great intellectual investment, with some minor interests that freckle the face of my abstract persona, marked by the nominative quality Evan, right? His first name that I have come to loathe, right? um, yeah, no, I guess I'm kind of capricious towards my name, but regardless, yeah. So I got a book published this time next year. I'm looking to have a memoir published. And yeah, I'm just kind of saying goodbye to the I don't know, the summer holiday season here, right? And I think it's a great thing to celebrate. I always go into survival mode or not like survival mode as in like physical survival, but like mental survival mode, because the banality and the whole stress of like I feel like I'm not learning anything all the time. That really gets to me. But I have maintained ways to stay productive, keep learning, work on the things I like working on. I've been working a lot on my verb charts and stuff like that. So that's great. I need to work on my German nouns. I need to work on speaking Spanish, especially if I'm going to Spain next year. Hopefully, did all my passport stuff. And yeah, working on my vocabulary, working on becoming better spoken, becoming more intentional with my words, becoming more confident, becoming less tuned to making mistakes and just shrugging them off. No, I should speak with intention. I should speak clearly. I should speak in a fluid manner, not use as many filler words, and kind of have a predisposition to knowing what to say, how to say it, when to say it, why, right? Answering that big question that's really part of whom I am. Like, why? That's a big question for me all the time, right? But yeah, 5, 10 years from now, I want to be more intelligent, or I don't know if intelligence is I don't know, something that's you know changing, right? I don't know if intelligence is this metric that's changing, especially if it's measured numerically, if it's quantified, right? So I don't know. I would like to know more things. I would like to be more knowledgeable. I would like to be more practical. I would like to be a better person generally in 5 to 10 years than I am now. I'm very jealous of the person yeah, I'll phrase it like that. I'm very jealous of the person I see myself as in 10 years, so I'm chasing that, right? And I want to do that for the rest of my life. Of course, my goals and my foci will fixate, where appropriate, and I'll undergo various circumstances, tragedies, my personal, I don't know, the things I care about will change, and the things I deem appropriate to incorporate as part of whom I am, those will change over time. But I constantly want to be striving towards something. I always want to have teleology. I think teleology is an extremely important part of what makes anything anything. For what purpose does it exist? Like teleology, ontology, these two things are built into each other, right? Like teleology is the finalistic approach, I guess, like the purpose in being something, or like what purpose does it serve mechanically, and then ontology is just the understanding of a being itself in a holistic manner, right? So where do I fit in context is the ontology, and then what am I striving to do in my various mental processes and the things I care about, where do these fit teleologically? And these questions are very abstract and they're very broad, but they're extremely important, and they don't have a single concrete answer. And especially from an outsider's perspective, you may hear all of this and think I'm extremely ostentatious. So you're going to have that my teleology is to be extremely condescending and use a bunch of words that no one cares about, and that words may not even be important, or you think words are important and you think the way I use dialogue and words is just really highfalutin and rubbish and maybe even incorrect, but still, right? Teleology. And then ontologically, you could say whatever, right? And yeah, so like I said, I want to be jealous of the person I am in 5, 10 years, right? And that's what I am, because I have this image for the future that's very vague. It's obstructed by nebula, but it's there, right? A hazy image and idealistic, right? Of course, with a contingency plan in mind. Yeah, but it's still there, right? This image. That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I just like improv all that. That's great. Well, yeah. So like these fiction projects, this fiction project I've worked on, given a lot of love. This Galaxis project it was a great. It's an incredible honor to be part of a rich and flourishing community of literature in the world. Right, something that is filled with so many great authors and people that know what they're doing, and I'm just kind of here, but I am happily accepted into this world on account of, I'm someone that's willing to put in the work, and that's how so many communities are. You have to earn the regards, like to be determined a great writer. Um, yeah, you have to earn that, but that's not me, right? And the same with music, right? I've put in a lot of hours playing the guitar and recording and learning music theory. So I kind of am like in this club, I get to sit at the um I get to sit at the table with the cool kids, and that's awesome, you know. Though I have a lot of bad things to say about many musicians, especially on account of their community being awful, and same way about writers and people that make art and the humanities in general. All the terrible things I have to say about them being extremely supercilious and being full of themselves, they are more often than not, 99% of the time, fucking awesome people, and I love that these communities exist, and I'm extremely happy to be involved with any of them. I know people that have written books. A lot of my professors have publications, and they're very extremely talented people, extremely good people. Like, they are extremely good to me. They challenge me, they ask me questions, they make me feel stupid, which is extremely important because if you're feeling stupid, it means you have more to learn. Not that I have any delusions that I will learn everything about anything, right? I oftentimes get into these mindsets where like I'm really confused where to take my knowledge of like linguistics, right? Because I'm not a linguistics major, but it's a great interest of mine and it's something I want to pursue in the future. So I'm approaching a lot of material and I have an understanding. Like I know, morphemes, graphemes, phonemes, ekphonemes. But I learned the word lexeme the other day. Kind of an important word, right? And I was confused by the word lemma for a while. Lemma and lexeme are kind of like pairs, right? you know, uh, Getting the difference between, oh, I don't know, approximants and vowels proper, understanding roticization, which I should understand roticization. I do roticization all the time, right? You hear it in my speech. Oh, I said lemma earlier, and idea, things like that. I steal the English language from everywhere, right? I've got this nice American accent going on, but it's kind of tinged by foreign languages: British English, Indian English, Canadian English, Trinidadian English. Okay, probably not that one because come on. Sorry, I'm just toying around. But yeah, so I get into these ruts and then I learn more stuff, and that's kind of how I've been doing things, like, especially with the sciences. The sciences are extremely dense topics, and I pick and choose, like, okay, I like pathology, but I don't know everything. I didn't know the word pyrexia for a long time, right? Kind of an important word, right? Yeah, I didn't know pyrexia, and some words just they confound me. I don't always remember the technical terms for things in medicine. Sue me. I'm not really into pharmacology. I don't really care about medicines. I care about the chemistry behind some medicines, like the cyclooxygenase. Like how that shit works is like really cool to me, right? But that's like a chemistry thing, right? It's not pharmacology, right? And I'll never be an expert in any of the medical fields, right? Like I would like to eventually get an undergraduate degree in maths of some sort and then a science. I'll probably do geology. I love geology, but if I didn't, I would probably do biology. On account of, dude, just biology's so cool. Maybe I get a music degree, but that's a lot of schooling for pretty much nothing, right? So yeah, I just want to have those things under my belt just to get better at them in general. And yeah, that's just super cool to me. Like just the maths in general, sciences in general, language in general, and I'm not a pan linguist. Well, I am a pan linguist, like in ideology. Like I think the study of all languages extremely important, right? The study of linguistic culture, the study of morphology, the study of fonts, even the study of the graphic component, the vocal component, the cultural component, even the non-spoken, like the body language, the psychological, the cognitive, all of that stuff. In like my one professor has a degree in cognitive linguistics, right? um I think all of that stuff is really important, but when it comes to person, like on individualistic level, right, me as a person, I'm never going to study a language like Mandarin, right? Great respect for the Chinese people. I have great respect for the Sinophones. I have great respect for anybody, especially in the United States, that like learns Cantonese or Mandarin or Shanghainese or Shanghaian. I don't know, but like any dialect, right? You get my point. Anyone that takes on these tasks, they are far better linguists than me, right? But me, it's just not an area of study for me that I like really care about, and not because it's uninteresting, right? But it's just not something I've dipped my toes in enough to really deem an interest. And quite frankly, when it comes to linguistics, I really should get good at what I'm doing right now. And Hungarian is probably the last big pillar that I'm adding to the linguistic tree. And then when I get good at that, I can start exploring again. But I want to do that after I get good at Romanian, Italian, Portuguese, even Spanish and German and Latin. Like Spanish, German, Latin are like the three that have really come together. Swedish. We'll throw Swedish in there. We'll get four pillars like Swedish, German, Spanish, Latin. Right. These are the linguistic pillars in the big building that is the English language. Right. They support the English language, which I love so very much. Right. But yeah, so these languages like that I want to improve upon. Like I can't be a panlinguist as a personal philosophy because I just need to get good at what I do before I start branching out, right? It's a natural course of things, right? Like I can't care about everything, though I may try. So I try to hem it and I try to focus. And yeah, I guess that's what a lot of this summer has been. Writing the book was me proving to myself that I am capable of dedicating myself to a project, right? I got physical media made. I got, these things. I've been living a little, right? And it's great. But also like maintaining up to date with my studies and things. It's so important to me, right? I've been studying, cellular chemistry, how cells break things down, how cells make adenosine triphosphate, how cells really use energy, and sugars in particular. Sugars are very interesting to me, and how sugars come to form nucleic acids, right? So how you get you get ribose and you get deoxyribonucleic acids, and then how you get all these things. Okay, it's of great fascination to me. So those things have been on my mind a lot lately, and yeah, just like the history of the earth, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, so just staying up to date with all these things has been extremely important to me. And one of the things that has shown throughout the summer, and oh my god, I am so thankful for it. I got my spark for music back. I was at a lull for a bit at the beginning of the year where I just wasn't really discovering anything that really caught my ear. And my problem was that I was trying to externalize everything. I was trying to outsource new interests. I was trying to synthetically become interested in things, right? And I was exposed to a lot of great music, like "Shut Up and Play Your Guitar" by Frank Zappa, great record, right? I don't really care for Hot Rats, and I don't really care for Apostrophe, but I dug deeper into artists I was already familiar with and genres. I was introduced to so many great goth, dark gaze bands and stuff like that that really have caught my ear, and like drone metal. I Like, if you would have asked me like last year if I would have gotten to drone metal, I would have been like, "What the hell is drone metal?" Well, I know what drone metal is, right? But like, these bands like Earth, The Angelic Process, Have a Nice Life. What Have a Nice Life? They're like goth doom metal, right? Or yeah, I guess my interest, I do like doom metal, or well, yeah, I do like doom metal. I do like drone metal as a genre, but for me, like, my interests have really been focused around this like kind of gothic sound, and like this really broad gothic sound. So like, I think goth as a super, now I'm not a goth, so I'm not really the authority to be talking about this, but like my perception of like gothic archetypes and gothic aesthesis, right? I perceive that like it's not just this like The Cure, Bauhaus, Susie and the Banshees, Cocteau Twins, right? Like it's not just this, but also like a lot of like Massive Attack. People don't consider them a goth band, but like, how do you listen to Mezzanine and the contents of their songs and not be like, yeah, this is kind of like, gothic, right? Like Rock Lobster's goth, I think, right? Is that what people are saying? Oh, I don't listen to B-52s, but I, yeah, sorry, I broke into another playing bit. But yeah, like, industrial music, yeah, new wave, or not new wave, but waver stuff. So like, I don't know, the Cars could kind of be like goth influencing, but like, I mean mostly like industrial, uh, drone metal, slowcore. These things are kind of like all in this like goth abstractia, right? But yeah. So my love for music is certainly being rekindled, especially with the Beatles. I have really gotten into the Beatles, and I think that's awesome, right? But yeah, I've just been trying to keep up with everything and trying to get better, try to be a better person, trying to work hard. And yeah, I have been practicing guitar a fucking lot. I have played more guitar in this summer than I've played like pretty much any other point in my life. When I was learning how to play the parts for the second stage Turbine Blade, like I was playing guitar probably 2 hours a day for a week, 2 weeks, right? This, it's been less time per day, but I think I've racked up certainly hundreds of hours of guitar playing just this summer, right? And I think that's great. But that's what I've been up to. That's who I am. And yeah, this is me. And yeah, look forward to more records, look forward to more. I'm going to be a very busy person, but you know, I make time when I can. And yeah, that memoir, I hope it comes out. I hope people like it. I don't know when it's going to be finished, you know, because I barely started writing it, honestly. But it will happen because I'm looking forward to it. I switched keys in there, or I switched modes. Ooh, ooh, that's a rough chord. Get out there, do something, be someone. You know, do the things you love, care about the things you care about the things you care about unapologetically. Care about. I do not like these verbiages, right? I'd prefer non prepositionals, right? Or uh about about you care about something. Yeah, it's a phrasal, but I don't know what that exactly would be. Is it predeterminer? Is about a predeterminer? I think yeah. About what time? What time is the subject there, and the predicate is the about predeterminer. I think it's a predeterminer. Yeah. Um, admire the things that you admire unapologetically. There we go. Admire is a better word. You know, don't base all the shit in your life on the opinions of others for sure, right? Like, go buy a shitty record, man. Your favorite Nirvana album is well, there's not very many to choose from. I'm gonna pick a different band. If your favorite Foo Fighters record is their first record, power to you. I like Night Visions by Imagine Dragons. I love that album. I love the Transformers movies. These things that are objectively bad, I love them. I love them unapologetically. I don't give a fuck. I love the Twilight movies, right? Because my interests are not performances for others to judge, right? And yeah, I reckon you live your life like that. I make these videos without fear that someone's gonna be like, why'd you make this video? No one gives a shit. I don't really give a shit either, but like it exists. It's in the ether now, right? It's in the ether to be examined and judged and you know garner whatever attention it may so beseech, right? Or may so magnetize. Yeah. But that's just me, that's just possibility, that's just you know, that's just a world of it. And to suggest something's nature is to be magnetic or to be inspiring is sort of ingratiating, it's sort of portentous, and that's not a good thing. So I make no declarations of such. It's up to you. Peace out. I'm Evan. Cheerio, people.